Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just wait for a few people to jump on here. It's Chris Jackson here. For those of you that are jumping on for watch the replay, I'm just gonna wait for a few people to jump on, say g'day. It's been a little while since I've been on Facebook Live, so yeah, really excited to be back on here, back with a message, back with some inspiration, back with some life transforming tips. So really looking forward to sharing the best of what I've got and helping upgrade and hack our mindset, completely transform how we think about our reality, and ultimately master our life. So I'm all about sharing mindset hacks, life hacks, how to radically transform our life, because I think I've got some pretty epic tools of the mind, how to overcome fears, limiting beliefs, how to radically transform and overhaul this thing that we call our mind and our body and how it's all connected, and figuring it all out. Because let's be honest, when we first started this journey, we didn't actually get the manual for life. So I like to think I've got some pretty cool manuals to life. There's a whole bookshelf of them over there, and I like to just give you the download of what I think is some pretty epic advice, lifestyle advice, wisdom, how to discover your purpose, how to get clarity, how to figure out what you truly want in life, how to implement it, how to be a boss at life, how to step into becoming a next level entrepreneur. These are all things that I froth over. These are things that I research daily, podcast. I coach clients all around the world, this kind of stuff. So love to share with you the download. Hey, Steph. Hey, Miranda. And really looking forward to sharing the best of what I know. Now, the first thing I want to share with you guys is clarity. Now, for a lot of people, they're missing clarity. And for you guys watching, I want you to tell me if missing clarity or lacking direction or lacking a sense of purpose, if it's something that's either elusive, it's something that you've maybe been missing from your life, or whether it's been something that maybe you just haven't quite cracked or nailed it. Now, the thing about purpose and clarity is there's some really powerful questions you can get that help you get clear on what is it that you're here to do. Now, the first one, and I've just been coaching a client on this just then, which is clarity comes down to really asking questions. Now, if we don't have clarity, it just simply means we haven't asked these 3 questions. It's really quite simple. Now, the way to think about clarity is in life, we've got like a menu. We've got like a menu for what do we want to actually want in life. Now, it's like when we go to life, we go, oh my God, there's like all these amazing different meals on the menu. I could order everything on here. Which one do I want? Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Which one do I want to pick? Right? That's life. So the key question is really saying, well, what do I actually truly want? And when we ask the question, what do we truly want? We need to recognize that there's so much conditioning, there's so many fears, there's so much limitation that we've inherited through going through the process of being a little kid, where we don't actually have a conscious mind and we just sponge everything up unconsciously. So what we end up with is limitation. That's one of the flaws of the human being, is we end up with limitation. So what we're going to do is we're going to override that limitation, and we're going to recognize that there is so much goddamn conditioning in this thing that we're not even able to see the forest from the trees. So it's like, when you look out across the ocean and all you can see is the horizon. That's all we can see. So that's the limitation that we're living with inherently as human beings. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to override all the fears, all of our limitations, all of our limiting beliefs, which lets us see beyond the horizon. And that's ultimately what these questions are designed to do. So the first question is asking, what do we truly want? That's the first question. But it's really important to recognize, well, we need to answer that question coming from the place of, well, there's so much conditioning where my family has been telling me what to do, my friends are telling me what to do. Well, I remember that time when I was in 5th grade and my teacher said that I should do this or I couldn't do that, or I would never be good enough to do that. So we're living in this world of limitation where there's just way too many limiting beliefs and way too many limitations on this whole mind-body connection, which just completely limits our perspective of what's possible for our life. So that's the first thing, is recognizing the limitation through the lens that we are viewing our world. Number 1, what do we actually want? Now, the next question is, what's actually important? So of this menu of life options that we've got, all these things that we want to order in life, which ones are actually important? Because I can't order everything on the menu. Well, you kind of can, but it's a bit ridiculous. Now, trying to order everything on the menu is kind of like trying to go after everything and then doing nothing, or being overwhelmed, or just trying so many different things and never actually doing anything properly. So you've got to recognize that we have a menu of life, and before we place our order, or as we're placing our order, we've got to go, well, hang on, what's truly important? So that's the second benchmark, is recognizing what's truly important. Now, the third question really is saying, well, now that I'm aware of what do I want, and then what do I truly want? Third question is really asking, what do I really, really, really want? knowing that there's consequences if I go that way, there's consequences if I go that way, and recognizing, well, if I do that, what's going to happen? If I do that, what's going to happen? But also approaching it from the point of view of, well, hey, we can be playful, we can be exploratory, we can go on an adventure, and we don't have to get it perfect, we don't have to get it right, but we can make a decision based on, well, what's the most important thing for us? What do we truly want? And what do we want outside of all the conditioning? What do we truly want in our core? Like, what's that like authentic self outside of all the conditioning and all the crap that we're taught to believe? We've got to get clear on what do we truly want authentically from a outside of the ego, because the ego is very, very clever. The ego is there to protect us. The ego will tell us, well, the ego is there to try and keep us safe. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? Great to see you on here. I'm just shedding some wisdom, shedding some light on how do we get clarity. And I'm just going to do a mini recap, because I think a lot of people that are lacking clarity, all that's missing is they're simply not asking the right questions to guide their thinking in the right direction. So the way to think about clarity is that simply you haven't asked enough of the right kind of questions in the right areas of your life yet. And when you do ask those questions, it's like a combination, like you unlock a deeper level of clarity of knowing within yourself. Hey, thanks, Shell. So again, going back to this metaphor of the menu of life, we have so many different options that you can select. So again, it's not trying to select all of them. In fact, it's not even not even at that point, not even trying to shortlist them, but it's actually going internal and saying, what actually resonates with me at my core? What of those is what resonates? Like, why am I here? Out of all those options, there's something greater that I'm here to do. There's something special that I'm here to experience. So recognizing that, as it might sound a bit woo-woo, but I'm going to go there. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? That's what I believe in. And look, I think that as soon as we recognize that, we recognize, well, we're here to experience something incredibly profound, something magical, something awe-inspiring. Life is not meant to be this 9 to 5 working in a job that you don't particularly like just for the sake of turning up and earning money, right? I've done that. I've been down that path, and I tell you what, it's pretty shitty. So you just be going to a job that doesn't really mean anything. Now, no disrespect for anyone who's out there who's in a job they don't particularly like, or in a relationship they don't particularly like, or just living in a place they don't like, right? But the reality of the situation is, in the year 2018, you don't have to do something that you don't like. I'm sorry, but it's just a lie. And whenever you chose to believe that, and whoever's telling you that, it's just simply not true. We live in a world now where Elon Musk is putting people on Mars. So for you to say that, oh no, I can't achieve what I want, I can't live the life that I want, I can't be that, I'm not good enough to do that, it's just a crock of shit, and I'm sorry, but it's a lie, and I'm not going to fight for your limitations. So if there's anyone out there that's telling themselves, oh, I'm not good enough, I can't do that, just recognize it's called a limiting belief. It's one of these little things, one of these little weeds in the garden, that's little mindset weeds that kind of grows and it sort of sprouts, and maybe it sort of, sometimes it grows so big it takes the whole friggin' garden. So this is the next step to getting clarity, is recognizing, well, what are the limiting beliefs that are getting in the way of us recognizing what we're truly here to do? Because look, deep down in your heart, and look, if you're watching this video, I've got a gut feel that you probably know that you're here to do something special. Like, we get one crack at this life. Like, we get one crack at it. I mean, you might get more, but do you want to gamble on it? So knowing that we get one crack at life, doesn't it make sense that we go after what we're truly here to do, like what our purpose is, like what we are born to do? And if this resonates with you, give me some love. Let me know if deep down inside of you, you know that there's more. If you know, yeah, damn weeds, tell me about it. Look, everyone's got weeds. Everyone's got limiting beliefs that are floating around that are cluttering our perspective of reality, right? So simply recognize that and becoming aware of our limitations, but recognizing that all of our beliefs and all of our perspective, it's all just made up. It's all just a construction. It's all just programming. And the thing I love to share with people is that all of that programming can be unlearned. It can be completely radically transformed. And that's what I'm in the business of. You know, a lot of people ask, what's your purpose? What are you here to do? Well, I'm in the business of asking that, and also empowering people on, okay, well, cool, let's figure all that out and let's get you in the game so you're doing that. So if you're still struggling to get clarity, it just simply means you're not asking enough for the right questions, or doing enough contemplation, having enough clarity about what's important, what your core values are. A lot of this is experience and contemplation, and again, pulling the weeds out of the garden. Now, when we overcome our limiting beliefs, when we start to overcome all of our fears. And look, I got to tell you guys, for those of you that have seen my video, I can help people eliminate a phobia in less than, actually probably down to less than 3 minutes now. So if you can get rid of someone's phobia, which is an intense, incredible fear, if you can get rid of that in like 3 minutes, imagine what you can do to all the other fears that exist. Now, I'll give you the download on some of the other fears that are going on that you may or may not be aware of. Fears like fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of not being enough, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of judgment. All these fears, it's part of the human condition. It's part of it's the filter that is our ego that makes us human, that tries to protect us, also gives us all these fears that are playing out. So you can override the ego. You can override the fears. You can override every single one of these limiting beliefs, every single one of them. And it's simply a process that you go through. Fears, limiting beliefs, literally, I've got multiple manuals here. It's just a process that you follow, and you can eradicate a fear, you can eradicate a limiting belief. It's just a tool, it's just a process, but it's a rewiring of your whole nervous system. The whole mind-body connection creates a massive shift, and what you're left with is starting to pull the weeds out of the garden. All those weeds that are going to take your garden, you can pull them out one by one. That's what transformational coaching is. That's what NeuroLinguistic Programming does. And I wanted to lean into NeuroLinguistic Programming because it's, for those of you that are familiar with it, it's one of the most transformational tools that we can ever have access to. It literally is the manual for your mind, how to radically transform the whole mind-body connection, how to radically overhaul this whole human being. And it's a manual that unpacks it, deconstructs, and helps us radically, completely, utterly reprogram the whole thing. And I've been on a massive mission for the best part of the last five and longer years, radically transforming everything about me. And it's fantastic because what I'm doing is I'm pulling the weeds out. I'm scraping away the layers off the beautiful core that I am as a human being. And that's what I'm doing with all the clients that I work with. So this is something that's incredibly important to realize. Every single fear, every single limiting belief that we've got can be eradicated, like scratched out. And the whole ego, the program of our ego, we can completely override it. Now, I believe our mission as a conscious human being is to do our best to expand it and to recognize that the reason why we're here in this human form is to experience some form of limitation, some form of challenge. We've decided to come down to this life and we're going, cool, bring it on. What sort of crazy challenge am I up for today? So as soon as we appreciate life from the perspective of, great, we are given limitations so that it helps us expand and helps us grow and elevate our consciousness, that creates empowerment. So seeing all the challenges in life, seeing all the limitations is something that helps us build our muscle. That's the ultimate empowerment. It's the best attitude you can possibly ever have to seeing all the challenges of life. Now, I'm not sure where I was going with all that. I got a little bit excited here. But my point was this. That's what we're going after clarity. We're saying the questions that lead to clarity are, what do I want? What's important? And then what do I truly want? But then also recognizing, well, what are the fears and limitations that are preventing me from actually seeing the truth, seeing the reality that we can do anything? And then once we step into that reality of knowing that we can do anything, well, the world becomes our oyster. We don't have to be in a job, a relationship, a town, a place, a mindset, an emotion that we don't want to. We can override it all. And that is the message I want to share with the world, is you can override everything. And this is about life hacking, mind hacking, completely overriding the whole human nervous system. And I'm teaching this in my NLP, and it's really just, I just love this. I've got to share this with the world. Hey, Sandra, I'm teaching this. I'm teaching people how to do this. Hey, Daniel, good to see you here, bro. I'm teaching people how to override the whole nervous system. And that's what just gives me the most juice in life, is you can do it as well, because it's not hard. Like, it's simply a process that you follow. Once you become aware of the tools and the techniques and the strategies of how to override this machine and get the manual for your mind, you just follow a process. So it's not rocket science. I'm not a ridiculously smart guy. I'm just a guy that got all the tools and got the manuals and did the training and kind of figured it out. And now I'm just sharing it. So I want you guys to have what I've got, because this is powerful shit. And I just wanted to say thanks, Daniel Tolson, for all the training that you've given me over the years. Daniel's an absolute legend in the space of NLP and coaching, absolute weapon. And look, it's people like ourselves. It's people like coaches that we're out here sharing the message with the world about we can elevate our consciousness. We can overcome all our fears. We can overcome all our limiting beliefs. we can strive to create whatever we want. And I think the most beautiful example that I'd like to share is Elon Musk. He's putting people into outer space. He's shooting for Mars. Now, if he can do that, we can do anything, right? That's my message. And look, guys, I also wanted to, thanks, Daniel. Yeah, you're an absolute legend, brother. Thank you for your contribution to my life as well. Big impact. And for those of you that are interested in studying NLP, for studying timeline therapy, studying hypnosis, studying the stuff that matters, stuff that creates a tangible transformation in human beings. If you're wanting to make a difference, not only in your own life, but also in the lives of people that you care about, whether you're a coach or whether you're a parent, whether you're a best friend, doesn't matter who you are in life, is when you learn these tools, you can override this whole beast. You can, thanks Daniel, yeah, you can override this beast of a thing and you can completely radically hack it. That's the message I'm sharing here, is that all the limitations that we experience as a human, we can overcome all of them. And the tools that we have in NLP, they are just world class. And I get so excited because when people learn these tools and techniques, it just goes to the next level. And I get juiced. I get so passionate, excited about this because it's a game changer. If children learn this, if a child got taught NeuroLinguistic Programming when between the ages of say 5 and 10, we wouldn't need psychologists. We wouldn't need drug counselors. There wouldn't be wars in the world because people would be able to overcome all of the trash and all the shit that gets caked on and that just gets drilled into us. That's just rubbish. So this is why if anyone is in the Greater Perth area, you have a fantastic opportunity to come and learn NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Hey Josh, good to see you there, brother. Who else we got on here? Hey Bella, thanks so much for the shout out. For anyone that's in Perth that wants to come along and learn this, right? I'm running a half-day masterclass on Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So you're going to get the download on this epic transformational tools of the mind. It's the manual for the mind, and it's a half-day training. It's on the 5th of May, and you know what? It's free. I'm giving it away because people need to know this stuff, right? It's a 5-hour seminar. It's a high-performance training. It's how to hack your mind. It's how to radically overhaul your whole entire nervous system. And I'm going to give you the best of the tools, the best of the best. So, for example, you can overcome a phobia in less than a few minutes. I'm going to show you how to eliminate guilt and anxiety. Anxiety, believe it or not, to eliminate anxiety takes less than 30 seconds. I'm not shitting you. I've got a process that I use that gets rid of anxiety in less than 30 seconds. If you have anxiety, please come to this and I'll show you how quickly it is to get rid of anxiety. I'm not shitting you. You come along and I'll do the rest. Simple as that. Who else have we got here? Hey, Jenny. Hey, Josh. Yeah, love your work, brother. I wish you were here as well. So the thing about this is, guys, this is the real deal. And if you've heard of Tony Robbins was doing this stuff probably 20 or 30 years ago. He was rocking up on stage and he was curing phobias, he was curing depression, he's doing all this, right? And I'm using the same tools and the techniques. There's nothing kind of special about them. They're kind of just techniques, but they're empowering. They help you radically transform how you think about your world and all the results you get. So if you would like to learn the best of the best tools of the mind, how to radically overhaul and transform everything that is about us and create better results so you get more time back, you can pursue your life's purpose, you can get clarity, you can fully unlock and harness the full potential that's within you, come along. Now, Perth, this first event is, as I said, is coming up on the 5th of May. Now, I'm also going to be doing an event coming up in Melbourne shortly after. I'm just about to announce the date. So for anyone who's watching this who's in Melbourne, stay tuned. I'm going to announce the date shortly because I'm going to come and do the same thing in Melbourne. Again, totally free event to share the best of what I know. Now, guys, I'm just mindful of time. I need to get on with, I'm running a training tomorrow and I need to go to prepare for it. So I'm going to cut it there, and I wish you guys a fantastic evening. I'm excited to be presenting this training, and if you guys know of anyone who, if you're interested, obviously I'll add the link here, and you can wherever the link is, you can jump into the training. It's a free training. It's on a Saturday. It goes for 5 hours. But I warn you, when you come along and learn this stuff, you can't shove the baby back up inside once you've learned this. So be prepared for having your mindset radically shifted, radically transformed. And if you know of anyone else who is interested in upgrading their life, of overcoming all the limitations, whether it be in their relationship, their career, their business, their finances, whatever, this is cross-contextual, which means it doesn't matter what area of your life it is. we can upgrade it, we can completely transform it. So if you guys are interested, grab yourself a ticket, completely free. Thanks, Shell. Thanks for jumping on the call. Hey, Bella, good to see you there. And yeah, this was me just sharing some wisdom. And I look forward to joining you on a regular Tuesday night time slot, just sharing nuggets of gold, just sharing the stuff that I know works. I'll tell you what works and I'll tell you what doesn't work. And I look forward to chatting to you guys more along the journey. Thanks you guys for joining me. Thanks, Shell. Thanks, Bella. Thanks, Jenny, Josh, Scott. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. And I look forward to being more present and being more giving on social media in the coming weeks ahead, because I know this stuff matters and people need to know this. This message needs to get shared with the world, and I'm going to share it. So on that note, I love you guys all. Yes, I love you. I think love is a fantastic emotion. I just sending lots of love and blessing energy. Might sound a little bit woo-woo, but love to you guys, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now. Love you guys.